Looks like our good friend Sarah is here at the new Raceway Park helping score tonight as well. Hi, Sarah. Nice to see you again.
Also, don't forget the 50-50 raffle with no trophy dash. It's a true 50-50 raffle. You have a chance to win exactly half of the money given. So, $1 a ticket, 6 tickets for $5. Get a chance to get yourself some money. We're back to green. Much better start this time as it's going to be Wayne Becker leading him down into turn number 1. Brody Spring, had to hit the binders ever so slightly. That's going to allow the 5H of Hine a chance to get up there and battle out with Spring for second. Now here comes Kirk Beatty. Beatty been very, very quick in the heat races the last few weeks, and he is starting to show that now as he's trying to get around 53K of Mike Kramer. Right now it is Wayne Becker leading. Big bobble by the 27S of Spring. Spring now in danger of losing second as Sean Hine catches up to him and is trying to get by him as they come out of 4. Give that spot to Hine. That's also going to open the door for Beatty for third. It is Becker, Hine, Beatty, Spring, and Kramer, your top 5. But Kramer now under battle from Woodall.
Sean Hine, former compact driver, now running a SportMod, sits in second place, but he's side by side with Kirk Beatty now. As they come into turn number 1, crossover move as Beatty pushes up the track. Hine's going to regain that second position off of 2, but Beatty with a better run now into turn 3. Becker still with the race lead, and then Beatty, Hine, Spring, and Kramer rounding out your top 5. Woodall and Olson your field. As Wayne Becker will see the white flag this time by.
As Hoosier comes up to visit me and Scotty, white flag in the air. Wayne Becker goes underneath the flag stand. He's going to sling it through 1 and 2. Kirk Beatty trying to go to the whip, see if he can do anything with Becker, but I don't think he's going to have enough time. They're going to swing through 3 and 4. Jesse Hyundai with the checkered flag in the air. It's going to be Wayne Becker, Kirk Beatty, Sean Hine, Brody Spring, and Mike Kramer rounds out that top 5. So great heat number 1 of your professional concrete IMCA Northern Sport Mods. And Scotty, I think you made a little friend right there.
I think, well, she probably saw me as lunch as I was getting my leg nibbled on.
Ryan Harris won the feature at Off-Road Speedway last night.
Yes.
Says the racing is good so far. Hoorah!
He also picked up a brand new chassis earlier this week from Cadillac Chassis.
Oh.
So I don't think he got it quite together yet, though. It's just a bare frame.
So we're just going to start calling him Elvis since he's running a Cadillac? RPMs come up, and we are green with the second and final heat race, and it is going to be Luke Jackson leading him down into turn number 1. Greg Hammond right there, but here comes Towhead. Towhead to the outside of Hammond. It is Hammond and Montag side by side as they are right behind the leader of Jackson. Jackson better not look. He better not look back, and he better keep that throttle down, or they're going to come by him about mock Jesus. As there we go. Jackson now starting to put a little bit of a gap on Hammond, but Montag now takes over that second place spot and gets rid of and erases any advantage that Jackson had. Right now it is Jackson, Montag, Hammond.
Montag pushes the 1 and 2, so Hammond will slide up in front of him, take over that second place spot. Hammond now to the back front of the 6 car off 3 and 4. And Austin Price goes around, takes out the cone, and caution flag is going to fly.
I think Captain Goulash saw a big pile of Parmesan cheese down there and was like, ooh, let me go after it. Rounding out the field. By the way, Scotty, Cody Bullware says anarchy, no sleeves allowed.
Yeah, that changed this week. As we're going to come back to the green flag now, Luke Jackson, Greg Hammond, Colonel Keith Sanders out in front. Rusty Montag trying to get a run again on the 29J of Greg Hammond. Hammond's going to look to the inside of Luke Jackson now off turn number 2. And too close to call it the line. I believe Luke Jackson had it.
And it was Luke Jackson by a hair at the line. I'll tell you, Hammond did everything short of throw the kitchen sink at Jackson. Unfortunately, coming out of 2, bobbled, had to fall back. Jackson now retains the lead, but now has Rusty Montag battling after him. So right now, Jackson's holding off all comers primarily in Greg Hammond and Rusty Montag. Now Montag going to the outside, down the backstretch. He pulls side by side as they come through 3 and 4. A little bit of a bobble from Jackson. New leader and winner, Rusty Montag takes the win. Luke Jackson in second, Greg Hammond third. Keith Sanders in fourth, and Dawson March rounds out that top 5. Row number 2 to the inside. Man, he was flying last week. Unfortunately, could not get the job done. That is the 20 of Chad Tenable to the outside. Brady's favorite driver, the 48 of Bob Moore.
The inside row 3, the 44X of Jason Speed Snyder's to the outside. The 141 of Matt Bonine.
And your final row is going to see the 25 of Ricky the Racer Stefan to his outside. The OK. He's okay, folks. That is Kyle Welch. Green flag is out. We are racing. Of course, Kyle Welch just getting his wrap finished, I believe, earlier today. And now he's out here getting ready to race it as we're going to complete lap number 1. Chris Mills picking up where he left off last week. Once again, blowing up not one motor, but 2 motors. Had to buy a brand new crate motor out of the deal. Then turn around, won $1,000 to win down at the Crawford County Speedway last week. Then won here, and now he is leading the heat race. It is Mills, Ripke, Moore, Tenable, and Ricky the Racer Stefan, your top 5, as we're going to come down and see 4 laps to go this time by, Scotty.
47-48 car putting up a battle here for that second place spot between Moore and Ripke. Ripke up on the high side, Moore through the middle, then Tenable trying to get into the mix as well. Chris Mills, the 02 junior, out with the race lead. Here comes Ripke on the bottom side, trying to get around the 48 of Moore. Moore just too strong on the top as he retains the spot, now sliding up in front. Chad Tenable has caught the back bumper of the 47 car, now looking at the inside, coming into turn number 3.
As they come through 3 and 4, 3 laps to go. Mills has a huge gap over the 48 of Moore right now. Moore with a little bit of a gap between the Ripke and Tenable battle. Now that Ripke and Tenable battle may have a third runner, as here comes Racer. Ricky the Racer Stefan now trying to get in on that battle as well. But right now, Chris Mills, he is coming down. He'll be seeing the white flag out this time by as he sails it through 1 and 2 along the high side, the high, wide, and handsome Kenny Wallace line. Mills, Moore, both take the white flag. Moore putting it just about a half a lane up from the tires. But it doesn't matter because Chris Mills is going to take home heat race number 1. Mills wins. Bob Moore in second. Third's going to go to Darren Ripke. Fourth to Chad Tenable. And Ricky the Racer Stefan rounds out that top 5.
What if it's like a computer-generated draw and he still gets picked last?
He still has a bad draw, unfortunately. You know, he's a great driver. He's got a great piece underneath of him. Can't draw to save his soul.
I know the feeling as we're about to go green off turn number 4 here. Green is out. We're underway almost 3 deep right off the start. As RJ Merchant thought about putting it 3 deep, then thought better of it to the inside of Sackett. Now down the backstretch, now to turn number 3. T's in third. Matheson. Here comes Thompson and Berrigan on the bottom. Sackett's going to lead lap number 1.
77 RJ Merchant, that car pushing like a dump truck. Unfortunately, that is holding up the 25C of Thompson and the 23 of Teese right now as they have buggies that are just as fast, if not a little faster, but they have to get by the 77 of Merchant. He's got some, he definitely has some changes he's going to have to make before the feature. Right now it is Justin Sackett, RJ Merchant, the 23 of Jim Teese, the 25C of Cody Thompson, and 88 is Sean Berrigan as right now Jim Matheson and Shane DeMay battling it out in the back.
As Sackett still leads Thompson up to second, now over RJ Merchant, shuffling him back another position. And Jim Teese running in that 4th place spot now. Rounding out your top 5 is the 88 of Berrigan as Shane DeMay trying to work to the back bumper of the 88 car. Nothing doing off turn number 2. 3 laps to go this time by for Iowa State Trooper number 17, Justin Sackett. Sackett, Thompson, Merchant, Teese, and Berrigan, your top 5. As Sackett bobbled in 3 and 4. Cody Thompson looks to the inside through turns 1 and 2. Can he get the run side by side with Sackett now coming to the white flag? Sackett takes a good momentum off of turn number 4. White flag is out one more time around.
It is going to be Sackett leading him down into 1 and 2. Thompson drops to the inside, tries to get a little bit more momentum. He can get to the back bumper, but that is about it. Sackett, this time Thompson going to the high side as the checker flag comes out. Sackett's going to win. Thompson is second. Third, RJ Merchant. Fourth, Jim Teese. And Sean Berrigan's going to round out the top 5. So a couple of cars definitely going to need to make a few changes for the feature. But great heat race racing there, Scotty. And now we come up to intermission time. Get on your feet and give these drivers some love. They are here to put on a show for you each and every Sunday night. This is your parade and wave for your professional concrete IMCA Northern Sport Mods. Wayne Becker, Luke Jackson, both looked really good in their respective heat races. So it's going to be very interesting to see what they do right off the start with a stack pack of hungry hounds behind him. Jesse drops the green flag, and we are racing. It's going to be Luke Jackson with a slight advantage going down into one. Oh! Meanwhile, Wayne Becker drives it in deep, goes right up in front of Jackson. Jackson had to pile into the left rear of Becker's car, nowhere to go. That means Becker's going to lead, but Jackson, he had quite a handful between him, the 2 of Sanders, and the 5H of Hine. Now Hines is going to take over that 3rd place spot. Meanwhile, 4th place, that is the 2 of Keith Sanders. He is under attack from the 21 BT, Kirk Beatty. Beatty wants to get up in that 4th place spot out of the 5th. Sanders, meanwhile, trying to go to work on the 5H of Hine for 3rd. Hine going to the whip. Not quite able to catch up to the 6 of Jackson as he bobbled just a little bit coming out of 2. But it is going to be Wayne Becker, your current leader, as he leads another lap down.
Wayne Becker, your race leader in car number 7, as your leader goes around. Oh, great driving by Keith Sanders to avoid him. Heads up driving from the 2 of Keith Sanders, as well as Luke Jackson, Kirk Beatty.
And the rest of the world, for that matter.
So left rear spring for Mike Kramer coming out of that 53K machine, brought back to him.
That's kind of a helpless feeling.
Got it back installed, and back to green flag we go, PJ.
As Luke Jackson's going to lead him down the front stretch into 1. Looks like Kirk Beatty is going to be the one who is going to take over that 2nd place spot. Meanwhile, Sanders under attack from the 29J of Hammond. Hammond, look at that, from 9th to, big shot in the shorts from Brody Spring to Hammond. Hammond from 9th up to 4th. We are 3 wide for the lead. It is Beatty, it is Jackson, and it is Sanders. Beatty and Jackson are going to go right on by Beatty and Sanders going to go by Jackson. I'll get it right.
Caution coming out, though. Caution coming out.
Oh, we got Dawson March in the 67, Jacob Beckstrom in turn number 2. And looks like a bad weekend for Dawson March is getting a little bit worse. Again, tore up his primary car at the off-road raceway last night in Norfolk, Nebraska. And now, unfortunately, sitting the wrong way on a one-way, as your boss, Rod Pattison, would say, that IMCA has mandated and would like for us announcers to do. The IMCA Carl Customs Northern Sport Mods, presented by Professional Concrete. Obviously, they Carl Customs stepping up on board. We want to make sure and take care of them as the national sponsor for the Northern Sport Mods. So IMCA Carl Customs Northern Sport Mods, presented by Professional Concrete, is back underway. And right now, Luke Jackson coming down the backstretch as he has a whole bunch of Kirk Beatty to the inside. It is going to be the 6th
caution,
caution again.
Jacob Beckstrom sitting in the middle of turns 1 and 2 in the 67 car.
And since he was stopped for the last one, that should, by all intents and purposes, be his 2nd caution, which means, unfortunately, his night will be done. Uncle of Billy Moyer Jr., that whole family's been racing since, well, I think maybe Carl's first crew chief was Moses, maybe, possibly.
I have no idea, but at this present time, we're going back to the green flag here. with your IMCA Carl Customs Northern Sport Mods, brought to you by Professional Concrete. As Beatty pushes up the track, here comes Luke Jackson for the race lead to Rusty Montang, Greg Hammond, and Keith Sanders in there as well. As Jackson pushes, here comes Sanders, and Beatty to the outside, 3 wide at the stripe for the race lead. Throw a blanket on him for the top 4, and back behind him too, Brody Spring. Austin Price from the back coming forward in that 11 car.
From 14th up to looks like 6th, right? Or yeah, 6th right now. But like you said, throw a blanket basically over the top 7, make it almost 8. As we got another car here that's trying to get involved as well. Right now it is, that's going to be 2G of Jeff Olson trying to get involved, as he's going to try to push it 3 wide, a little further back between him, Spring, and Captain Goulash, who has a lot of damage to the right side door panel. But right now it is the 2 of Keith Sanders starting to gap the battle for 2nd and 3rd, which is Greg Hammond and the T1 of Rusty Montag. Wow, that was a little too close at the line to call for who got 2nd and who got 3rd.
Greg Hammond had it at the line by a nose. Montang 3-wheeling off turn number 2, that time by into 3 and 4 as they battle. Keith Sanders starting to check out ever so slightly in the number 2 car. The curl is back.
Sorry, not to interrupt you, Scotty, but big time contact between the 6 of Luke Jackson, the 11 of Austin Price as they come out of 4, and then they were beating, banging, and nailing each other all the way down the front stretch. And now coming out of 2, Luke Jackson got hit by the 5 Emma Dawson March, who had nowhere to go. Luke Jackson appears like he is going to be done, and indeed he does turn into the work area. Luke Jackson done for the feature.
Meanwhile, though, still Keith Sanders with the race lead. Kirk Beatty working on the 29J of Greg Hammond. Hammond, last week's feature winner, seems as if the car is starting to get away from him a little bit here in this A feature. Montang, though, look at the T1 car of Montang with 4 laps to go, starting to close in ever so slightly on the number 2 of Keith Sanders as they come down the backstretch. Look at Montang with the run. Montang has caught the 2 of Sanders, gonna drive it down the hill. Sanders has no way of knowing that he is being hunted by the T1 of Montang.
Rusty Montang has been going to the whip. He has been whipping that car like a rented government plow mule, and he is now on the back bumper, but he only has 2 more laps. Can he get around that NF1 Norquist Fab chassis of Keith Sanders? Oh, yes, he can. He comes out of 2 like a rocket shot outside of Sanders. He is going to this time try to drive it down the hill. And at the line, new leader, Rusty Montag, as the white flag comes out. 1 lap to go. Montag, Sanders trying to battle back to the inside. It is Sanders, Montag, side by side down the back stretch. We're going to have a barn burner down here at the end of the deal. Sanders not going to be able to hold it. Rusty Montag's going to take the win. Keith Sanders, heartbreaking 2nd place finish. Kirk Beatty in 3rd. 4th is going to go to Greg Hammond. And Jeff Olson is going to take home that 5th place spot. Wow, Scotty, what a race. And for Rusty Montag,
from 10th to the top spot and puts it in victory lane. The T1 they call Towhead, Rusty Montag. Incredible run here tonight in your Carl Customs IMCA Northern Sport Mod, a feature event brought to you by Professional Concrete.
That was absolutely a phenomenal barn burner of a race for sure. Get up and on your feet. Show these drivers some love. Give them a wave. Let them hear you. This is your AA feature for your Bonine Garage Doors Modified.
From 11th to 141, I'm at Bonine to the inside of row 6. 2 is outside the 15M out of Denison, Iowa. That is Shane DeMay.
Row number 7 to the inside. We'll see Jason Speed Snyder's in the 44X. And the M80 of Jim Matheson to his outside.
And starting shotgun on the field, he's A-OK, folks. That's going to be the OK of Kyle Welch. RPMs come up. Green off at turn 4. We're letting them loose at the Raceway Park.
And it is going to be Darren Ripke leading him down through 1 and 2. As Justin Sackett now going to go from the high side, trying to get to the low side. Can't quite get it done. He is going to settle in for 2nd. Chad Tenaple in 3rd. And then we have quite a battle going on behind him with Stephen, Mills, Moore, and the 77 of Merchant all right there. Now it looks like the 23 of Teese and the 25C of Thompson wanting to come in and play as well. But right now, it is all Justin Sackett as he will lead lap number 2 as he is chasing down some speeders and criminals up front of your Bonine Garage Stores IMCA Modified field.
Everyone trying to stay behind the 17 car, but they know that he left the ticket book at home. Iowa State Trooper Justin Sackett with a race lead in car 17. Chanton Apel battling with Chris Mills off turn number 2 for that second place spot. Back behind them, Ripke running 4th. And great battle between Ricky the Racer Steffen and the 48 of Bob Moore. More to the inside now of Ripke for that 4th place spot. Moore will have it. Ripke back to 5th, but up front, Justin Sackett starting to gap the field ever so slightly in car 17.
Meanwhile, we have a battle going on for 2nd and 3rd as Tenapel has it. Mills wants it. Mills trying to get underneath the 20 of Tenapel, not quite able to do it. Now coming out of 2, he'll get up to about the door panel. That's about as far as he can go as for some reason Tenapel able to drive a little bit deeper than Mills. Now Mills side by side, half a car length advantage. Mills is going to take over that 2nd place spot. Here comes Bob Moore. Bob Moore going to the whip as he is trying to catch up to Tenapel, take over that 3rd place spot. It is currently Ripke, Mills, Tenapel, Moore, and Ricky the Racer Steffen, your top 5. Right behind them, you have Darren Ripke in the 77 of RJ Merchant battling it out. Then a little bit further back, you have the Stapleton Farm Boy Jim Teese, the 25C of Cody Thompson, and the 88 of Berrigan. Then another pack behind them with Snyder's DeMay and Bonine.
As we come to just a little over halfway to go, Justin Sackett leading. Chris Mills, the 02 junior, your defending champion. Mills is starting to run down the 17 of Sackett. 20 of Chanton Apel running in that 3rd place spot. Bob Moore in 4th. Ricky the Racer Steffen rounding out your top 5. Knock, Cody Thompson. He just got by Jim Teese and Darren Ripke as he moves up to 7th. Meanwhile, up front, Chris Mills has caught your race leader, the 17 of Sackett.
And as they go through 1 and 2, new leader for a moment is Mills. Now, Sackett going to try to get back to the inside, not quite able to do it. He's going to try it again in 3 and 4. Nope. Mills is going to take the lead. That's not going to move Sackett back to 2nd. Tenapel, Moore, 3rd and 4th. The 25 of Ricky the Racer Steffen's in 5th, but he's got a couple of hungry hounds behind him as the 25C, the Sioux City Slayer, Cody Thompson, now takes over that 6th place spot, and that is going to put the 77 of RJ Merchant.
Oh, caution out of the
7th.
raceway, though. I believe Justin Sackett, the 17 car, at the bottom of turn 2, your 2nd place runner.
Oh, Rutro Raggy.
That'll move Chadson Napel up to that 2nd place spot. Moore to 3rd, Steffen to 4th, and Cody Thompson, I believe, in 5th.
Yep. And that's also going to move RJ Merchant just outside that top 5 as he and Thompson were having quite the little battle going on. Started 10th, now currently up to 5th. Still has time to possibly get in there and mix it up with Mills. We'll see if he's able to do that. But right now, Mills going to lead him down. Jesse's going to drop the green. We are back to racing. And it is going to be Mills indeed leading him down into 1 and 2. Bob Moore now trying to get to the outside of the 02 junior for the lead. Both these drivers have wins currently here in 2021 at the new Raceway Park. Mills going to hold off that challenge. Here comes Cody Thompson. The Sioux City Slayer has slayed his way up to 3rd from his 10th starting spot. 7 positions to the positive. Now he's trying to go to the outside of Moore, who is going to go right in the tire tracks of the 02 junior of Mills. It is Mills with Moore and Thompson side by side for 2nd and 3rd. Gives 2nd to Cody Thompson. Scotty, the Sioux City Slayer, is coming after the champ.
He's starting to slay the competition already as he's looking to the outside now of Chris Mills. Down the front stretch into turns 1 and 2 they go. Gives him a little bit of a bumper. Mills gets slideways. More through the middle now. More to the race lead in car 48. Mills will try to battle back on the inside. Thompson will stay up top, but caution
turn number
flag
2.
flies.
We got the 141 of Bonine, the 47 of Ripke. We've got the 88 of Berrigan and the 23 of Teese. Oh, we have a basically a used car lot sitting down there at the bottom of turn number 2. Very interesting. Bob Moore is sitting there in third on the high side. Then you have the 20 of Tenaple and the 25 Ricky the Racer Stefan right there as well.
Thompson's been better on the high side. Bob Moore has been better on the high side and low side, so we'll see what happens here as they come back to green flag conditions here. Bob Moore slides up the hill. Here comes 25C of Cody Thompson to the top side of the racetrack now, trying to run down your race leader, the 02 junior of Chris Mills.
Meanwhile, we have a little bit of a gaggle back there from fourth on back, Ricky the Racer Stefan, Chad Tenaple, Jason Speed Snyders, and look at this, checking himself into the top 5. That is Shane DeMay. That Harris starting to work his way forward as he now gets by Tenaple. He is high, wide, and round the outside, trying to get by Stefan now. And if he can get by Ricky the Racer Stefan, he has a chance to get at that battle between the 48 and the 25C as they're allowing Mills to get away. Mills flies under the green flag, 2 laps to go. He is going to hug it down to the inside as Cody Thompson with about half a car length advantage down the backstretch. Bob Moore once again trying to get to the inside there. Ever so close. No contact, though. They're running clean. White flag is out. 1 lap to go. Mills fires it down the backstretch. He's going to come through 3 and 4. 2 weeks in a row after blowing 2 motors. He is going to go win-win. Chris Mills wins. Cody Thompson second. The 48 of Bob Moore in third. Shane DeMay works his way up from 12th to 4th. And Ricky the Racer Stefan rounds out your top 5.